Having an actual gun on a school campus can land a student into some serious trouble. But what about a toy gun, a drawing of a gun, or even eating a pastry in the shape of a gun? A portion of their investigation focused in on this area where you can see signs of tire tracks of a vehicle slamming into a fence, and just a few feet away, blood scattered on the pavement. The state fire marshal says that this fire that happened at this bar this morning definitely does not appear to be an accident. On Pensacola Beach, things seem, I guess, somewhat normal, if you will, even though it is a little breezy. I'll step out of the shot so you can kind of see a little bit of what's going on. As you mentioned, this fire did start about an hour ago, and as of a few minutes ago, flames were still visible inside the house. But today has been pretty busy at the airport, and one of the areas that's received a lot of focus and attention are these flight status boards. The water at one time was as high as this point on the mailbox. On cold days, the homeless can live in a place like this where they'll use tarps, they'll use blankets. This whole area is what's been slowing down traffic in Gulf Breeze over the last couple of weeks. So it's almost like a block party out here. We have the roses, we have the champagne on ice, and just take a look at all of the residents who came out. A second inmate is on the loose after escaping from a Pensacola work release program Friday night. 54-year-old Michael Jones. The woman that lives at this apartment didn't know what to think when the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force came bursting through her door. Now check this out. A truck drove into a Cantonment grocery store yesterday. Take a look at these pictures. It's not every day we here on the Gulf Coast can say we had to scrape ice off of our cars, watch where we step on the pavement because of a thick layer of ice. While 60-year-old Roy Middleton still recovers after being shot by Escambia County Sheriff deputies right in his driveway, his family says they're determined to seek justice, and this case is already receiving national attention.
I can't say what I want because I'm still asking why.
While still in the hospital, Roy Middleton wonders why Escambia County Sheriff deputies fired several shots at him when he was armed with nothing more than a keychain at his own home. National media outlets are also taking notice.
Was shot at 15 times by cops who thought he was a car thief. What?
The Escambia County Sheriff's Office stands by its report that claims Middleton was non-compliant, which caused deputies to open fire. Sheriff David Morgan believes the reason the case has attracted national attention has less to do about the shooting and more about race.
One of the tragedies, I think, of this is that, unfortunately, had Mr. Middleton been white, we probably wouldn't be having this discussion.
We caught CNN cameras at Roy Middleton's home, just as County Commissioner Gene Valentino tried to assure Roy Middleton's mother commissioners are looking into the case. Valentino says this kind of attention doesn't reflect well on the area.
How do you think this looks? This is not speaking well for Pensacola or Escambia County or the Panhandle.
Roy's sister, Rosa Middleton, says the family wants the deputies who shot her brother to be held accountable, and she questions the sheriff's claim they had officer anxiety at the time.
What kind of cops do you have that get anxious in a situation? You're supposed to be trained to handle those type of situations. So that's not acceptable. It's not acceptable.
The family tells me Roy Middleton is undergoing physical therapy and may be released from the hospital later this week. Reporting in Escambia County, Cavante Smalls, Channel 3 News. The second day in a row, Jones Swamp has been taken over by a brush fire, this time literally right in the backyard of some residents who live nearby.
Just how they're going to get this put out, how it started, how long it's going to burn.
Tammy McPherson watched from her back porch. Others watched from the streets.
I don't live far from here, so in case I have to evacuate, I want to know firsthand.
The 80-acre fire started early Saturday morning. The dry conditions and winds are believed to have played a role in its flare-up. At one point, there were several fires going on at once. All hands were on deck, with dozens of bulldozers and fire trucks on the ground. And in the air, helicopters dropped 300 gallons of water to prevent the fire from spreading.
Hopefully it won't jump over the road. If it does, then I guess we'll start getting worried then. We'll have a little bit of warning, I'm sure.
This is the last thing residents in the Meadow Gardens subdivision wanted to see. Thick smoke towering above their homes.
There's the people back there on the roof soaking their roofs and everything.
I don't know how close exactly it is, they're saying, but it looks like it's right behind the last cul-de-sac.
Some residents tried to do what they can to save their home, like watering their yards. But they say they're also prepared to evacuate if needed.
We do have like fire safety deposit boxes. We can just grab our important stuff and go.
Under these hot and dry conditions, the Forestry Service is encouraging everyone to not burn anything outdoors. Reporting in Escambia County, Cavante Smalls, Channel 3 News. Changing the face of cancer one day at a time. That's the message of Frances Yo. And if these Mardi Gras decorations are any indication, she's not your typical patient. Meet Frances Yo. She's a strong lady that's full of spunk, and how couldn't she be?
Can't go any further, there's a camera in the way.
She's now going through her 6th round of cancer.
I have had breast cancer 4 times, so that's twice in each breast. I've had ovarian cancer, and this one was a softball-sized tumor wrapped around my colon.
Luckily, doctors were able to successfully remove the tumor from her colon. Before starting her chemo treatments, Frances likes to raise the spirit of other cancer patients by parading down the halls of the hospital with a theme. This time, it's Mardi Gras.
We're not waiting for 12th night to kick off Mardi Gras.
Once word spread of Frances' latest theme, Pensacola Mardi Gras Incorporated answered the call, and in top form and full of beads.
Add it to the float.
For most people who know Frances, it's not her ability to overcome numerous cancers that stands out most. Instead, it's her infectious, positive attitude that's most inspiring.
Frances has been an inspiration from the very first second I met her, which goes back about 6 years ago.
But if it can help just one person not be so scared, because it used to be whenever you said the word cancer, people just automatically thought of death.
Frances' next chemo treatment is in December, and she's already planning her next theme.
Next month, it'll be a Jamaican theme because I've got dreadlocks.
But she's not getting too far ahead of herself. She knows how lucky she is, and that's why she's battling her fight with cancer one day at a time.
We need to enjoy every day that we have. Every day is a gift. That's why we call it the present.
With photographer Kendall Faust, Cavante Smalls, Channel 3 News.